Hi. People are staring at me. This is weird.
What are you looking at?
We are going to be making food today in the kitchen because that's what you do in a kitchen, right? People have been saying that, wow, you post all these pictures of food on Facebook that you make and it looks really, really good, but I don't know how to do it. It's probably too difficult. We're gonna show you how I do a little bit of that. So, what are we going to make today? I don't know about you, but sometimes when, I get a little intoxicated, I like to have a little comfort food, and it is this, ramen. Today we have shrimp because I stole it from my roommate. Sorry, Kevin. When I was younger, my mother would make ramen, which actually in Chinese, it's funny because in Chinese it's 方便面, which literally translates to convenient noodle. But she made it a very different way, and it's the way that I picked up from her. And to me, it's still very convenient. So I'm gonna show you today how I do that and what I put in it. So maybe you can spice up your ramen from here on out. So here's the things that you're gonna need. Obviously, you're going to need this. Eggs, who doesn't love eggs? Except for people who are allergic to dairy. Chicken stock, I got mine from Costco. And then, of course,
Kielbasa sausage.
Because I like my protein. Don't you say what you're thinking. If you're going to cook, you obviously need something to cook the things in. Enter the pot. It smells burnt. So that's most of the stuff that we have. And I have a couple of other, spices and accoutrements that are kind of optional, but you know what? You don't need them. So let's come over here and see what we're preparing.
So we have our ramen and our eggs, and we have some salt and pepper.
Very, very, very important. Never cook without salt and pepper.
We have garlic. Same thing. Never ever cook without garlic. We have chicken broth. And then we have the sausage that I mentioned earlier. I cut it up while sober. I did this earlier. So we have all these things. I have a couple other things I'm going to throw in. I'll probably put them in later. Whatever. And of course, the most important thing. Alright, so what are we going to put in this thing? Fill it with water. I like to fill it half with water, half with chicken broth, or all with chicken broth. It doesn't really matter. If you don't have chicken broth, that's fine. Just use water. You want to have about that much. I want to say it's like a couple of cups. I don't know. I eyeball all of this stuff. The most important part is you can't really have enough water or broth because the noodles and stuff kind of absorb it, especially if you're going to refrigerate it and take it the next day. You're probably going to want to have more liquid. In goes the chicken broth. In goes the, how much? I don't know, 20. So you've got a nice mix of water and chicken broth, maybe half and half. Turn on your heat, find a lid, cap, fucking don't fit the thing,
and wait. If you're curious, my eyes are red because I've been drinking, not because I've been smoking. That's a different YouTube channel. I forgot something. Vegetables. Add them.
So now that it's boiling, the first thing I like to add is vegetable. Ow, that steam, how? Grab a fistful, dump it in. Some more, because, vegetables are good for you. Just dump them, ow! Hot. All in there. Great. Then you throw in the meat. And then you just boil. You wait for it to boil, at least. Forever. Great, it's boiling. At which point you throw in the bricks of ramen. The bricks of ramen cook the quickest, so, you can throw them in and they're done and they're great. You can, toss in the little remnants. Flavor packets. Sometimes I like to use them. If I use them, I only use about half the package, because they got a lot of crap in them that you don't want in your body. So I'm just going to throw in about like half the package. Great, shrimp flavor. At which point, you use these. You wait for them to soften up a little bit, and then you kind of, that's not soft. Okay, hold on. Margaret Thatcher naked on a cold day. Look at that, they're soft. When these start to soften up, you start to add different seasonings. So here's what I like to add. Bam! Soy sauce. A little bit of that. Salt. To taste, obviously. Pepper. I have the grindy kind, it's cool. A little spoonful of garlic. Little, large, doesn't matter. Garlic goes in everything. This is rice wine vinegar. You guys probably don't have this in your kitchen. Or, I'm sorry, this is just regular rice wine. If you do, add some. If you don't, it doesn't matter. If this would open, fuck! Just a tiny little dollop. A little dollop, just like that. I also like this. This is, I think, black rice vinegar. You probably can't find this at like a Publix or a Walmart. You have to go to Chinatown for this, but I really like this stuff. Peanut butter. The choosy mom's kind. You may think that this would never go in ramen, but it actually helps. You take a big large spoonful of this stuff, and then you dollop it into the broth, and it makes it thicker and more umami-like. And if you don't know what that is, Google it. Sriracha. This is delicious. Everyone knows it. Put some in. As much as you like. I like spicy stuff, so I'm just, squirting away. Don't you... Anyway. More Asian stuff you'd never heard of. This is hoisin sauce. It's delicious. Try some. Dollop, dollop. No, more dollops. And then some of this, because why the fuck not? Ladle. If you don't know what this is, I feel bad for you. Stir and let it simmer for a little bit. So here's where the egg comes in, right? The first thing I like to do with this is that I crack the egg and I drop it in there, and immediately I'm gonna do the egg drop thing, where I break it up and kind of make egg drop soup with the broth and the liquid that's in there. So that way it kind of like spread up and all throughout the soup, yeah? You can use as many eggs as you want, or no egg if, you're lame. I'm just kidding. And then with the other eggs, I crack them in whole. Just crack them in whole. One I put right there, and one I'm gonna put right here, and you just leave it there. Okay, I am just leaking egg. So you wait for the egg to kind of hard boil a little bit, or poach, or I don't know what the technical term is. At this point, you can shut the heat off, because stuff keeps cooking when you leave the heat on, and that's really important. If you wait until all of your stuff is done cooking and then you turn the heat off, you're gonna have a bad time. So, this has simmered a lot. You can see that the poached egg has, well, I don't know, been sufficiently poached. See that? Beautiful. Give it a couple of more stirs, and then it's probably ready to serve. You're gonna serve them in a bowl, and then serve them to unsuspecting people. Ramen!
You don't feel like you've been poisoned or something?
I feel like I've been fed the most delicious ramen dish of my entire existence.
Because I'm still here. So stay tuned, and we'll make some more stuff later. I'll drink some more alcohol, and we'll make stuff. So if you have any requests, you can do so in the comments, or I don't know where you're doing this. I don't know. But yeah, make some requests, and we'll see you next time. Bye.